ఆర్థిక సదస్సులో పాల్గొనే అరుదైన అవకాశం దక్కించుకున్న మన హైదరాబాద్ అబ్బాయి కరణ్. ముంబైలో ఫ్యాషన్ రంగంలో విప్లవాత్మక మార్పుల కోసం కృషి చేస్తున్నాడు ఆ యువకుడు. ఇంతకీ ఫ్యాషన్ రంగం వైపు కరణ్కు ఎలా ఆసక్తి కలిగింది? పర్యావరణ పరిరక్షణకు ఫ్యాషన్కి ఉన్న సంబంధం ఏంటి అన్న విశేషాలను తన మాటల్లోనే తెలుసుకుందాం.
గ్లోబల్ ఎకనామికల్ ఫోరం కి సెలెక్ట్ అయిన కరణ్ ప్రస్తుతం మనతో ఉన్నారు. మరి అసలు కరణ్ కి ఆపర్చునిటీ ఎలా వచ్చింది అండ్ ఈ ఫోరం లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయడం ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది తన మాటలు తెలుసుకుందాం. హాయ్ కరణ్, ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్. సో ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది వరల్డ్ ఎకనామిక్ ఫోరం కి సెలెక్ట్ అవ్వడం?
నాకు చాలా ఎక్సైట్మెంట్ ఉంది వరల్డ్ ఎకనామిక్ ఫోరం సెలెక్ట్ అవడానంటే. నేను 4 years నుంచి గ్లోబల్ షేపర్ ఉన్నాను. మళ్ళీ ఈ ఇయర్ నేను అప్లై చేశాను టు బికమ్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద కోహార్ట్ గోయింగ్ టు ద వరల్డ్ ఎకనామిక్ ఫోరం. నాకు చాలా ఎక్సైట్మెంట్ ఉంది. ఏంటంటే అక్కడ చాలా బిజినెస్ లీడర్స్, గవర్నమెంట్ పాలసీ లీడర్స్ ఉన్నారు అండ్ అక్కడ ఆపర్చునిటీ ఉంది టు ఎంగేజ్ విత్ దెమ్ అండ్ దట్స్ వాట్ ఐమ్ వెరీ ఎక్సైటెడ్ అబౌట్.
వాట్ రోల్ ఆర్ యు గోయింగ్ టు ప్లే at వరల్డ్ ఎకనామిక్ ఫోరం?
Two things. One, myself and Gayatri are going to be part of the group of 50 young people going to the World Economic Forum, selected from the Global Shapers community. So out of 500 applications, మనం select అయ్యారు and we're very excited. And what we will do there is, one, we'll meet lots of global leaders, business leaders of large multinationals. We will be meeting governments and different sort of civil society people. The role that I think I will play is, I'll try to play at least, is to find a way to get everybody to work together. It's very apparent that we need to work on the climate and we need to work towards sustainability. And my interest, as you know, is sustainable fashion. And so everybody wears clothes and all clothes can lead to pollution. But if we can change that and if we can all work together, government, business and us, then I think we have a chance to make the world a better place.
As you mentioned, you are working for the fashion industry. So, and you want to get sustainability in the fashion industry. Do you think it is possible in near future? And what are the measures that we can take to get sustainability?
I think it's very possible and I remain very optimistic about it. I think the big opportunities that I see are within the next at least 10 years that we'll stop using polyester, virgin polyester. And we'll be able to scale up innovations that can actually help us find different ways of growing, materials for clothes. We'll use more organic cotton. Now, 75 years, after our independence as a country, I don't know if you saw, but a lady from Hyderabad, actually, Uzrama, was talking about how we have become leaders in organic cotton again. And, hopefully we will be able to increase that in the world. And I see it happening. And I think we'll be able to make sure that whatever materials we use at least are sustainable. Slowly, consumers like you and me and everybody that's watching, we're all looking at ways to make sure that we look good, but we also feel good. If we know that our clothes have made a difference to the planet, I think that'll make a big difference.
But Karan, whenever we are discussing about the sustainability, there is one question people raises, that is about cost.
Yeah.
Because that the middle class people, poor people and rich people, everyone need a cloth to wear. When it comes to the organic fabric or anything such kind, they cost much. This is the question people are always asking. What do you say about this?
So I have two things that I say always. One is that we always, if we are okay to pay a little more, then we should, because these clothes will last us much longer. They last us for 10, 20, 30 years. I don't know, you might know a sari that your mother might have had from, 30, 40 years ago. It's still good, but
all having such kind of saris, wedding saris or
exactly
mama saris.
Yeah, and so that's good quality material, right? So that's one thing. So if we are okay to pay, we should pay. But my second sort of point is that it should not fall on the consumer to only pay for the cost of sustainability, right? And that's why being part of the World Economic Forum meeting is very important, because we'll be able to talk to business, we'll be able to talk to governments so that they can also take some of the cost and subsidize it for us. I know that even me as a consumer, I won't pay extra than what I'm paying right now. But if the brand were to give it to me at a subsidized rate, or if they were able to do it with the government support to do it, then I would be very happy. And so that's one of my aims as well.
So if we are discussing about the protection of the environment, first we need to tell the people that what are the major harms because of the cloths we are using, like polyester, rayons,
Yeah.
etc. So what is the major damage that those cloths are causing to the environment?
So there's very big facts. So one is that fashion industry actually accounts for almost 8% of global emissions of greenhouse gases. It's quite big, and we don't think about these things because actually the materials that we use are where the emissions come from. So for instance, we use about more than 60 million tons of polyester, which comes from oil and gas and petrochemicals. And that's fine, but we should try and use more recycled material, or we should use less virgin material, right? We also see that more than 100 million farmers across the world grow organic cotton or grow cotton itself. But they don't have enough income, they don't have enough market linkage. That's another big problem. And one thing I find very shocking actually is that almost 300 million trees are cut down every year for fashion fibers. And if we can, but you can make all of this from, textile waste or agricultural waste or different more sustainable materials. And that's what I think, we need to start working towards to be able to fix those issues. So big emissions, lots of pollution, dependency for farmers can all be fixed if we just try and change the way we make our clothes.
So now we are using petrochemicals and polyesters, plastic things for the cloths. So what are the alternate resources to make a cloth except these cotton?
So there's actually very interesting one. So one is actually textile waste, which we can use. There's so much textile waste, more than 100 million tons of textile waste is there in the world today, and it keeps increasing. We get it from different places in factories, from consumers, and it's all around. That's one. The other is actually to use agricultural waste, rice straw and wheat straw that usually we burn, and it leads to pollution in places like Delhi, in Punjab, Haryana, etc. We can use a lot of it, but we just have to invest in the technology to use. And that's where, it's really important for us to work together. I think one big area for me actually is to see how we can use agricultural waste, because it will not only help the environment, it will also help the farmers. It will also help all of us as a country improve. Even in Andhra and Telangana, we grow so much rice and so much wheat and so many other staple crops that we can use, but we don't have a way to use it properly because the technology is not at scale. And so hopefully if we can do this, then, our farmers will benefit, our climate will benefit, and all of us will start using different kinds of clothes.
So your words proving that how passionate you are for the environment. But we just want to know that when you became this much passionate about the environment, any particular instant that made you to become so passionate?
It started in college, actually. I went to Flame University in Pune, where I studied environmental studies. My professor there was telling us about how, if you think about from the time the earth started, and from till now, if you think about the time that we as humans have spent on the planet, it's very small amount. It's minuscule. One of the things that I really felt was interesting and what really inspired me to get into this space was the fact that in this tiny little amount that we've spent on the planet, we've actually been able to increase the amount of emissions and the pollution. The temperature is changing very rapidly. And there's a lot of inequality that we've also seen in the world. And so I really felt passionate from that moment to see what I could do. And so in my university, I did some internships with organizations that worked in sustainability, and then slowly started to build a career in that space.
So as you mentioned, to get sustainability in the fashion industry, I think the change must come from the individual. As we all wear so different clothes, and we don't stop our shoppings for the 10 clothes or 15 pairs. So we'll buy again and again. So what is your suggestion for an individual to get the sustainability in this industry?
I have one big suggestion. One is that we should always ensure that we are not wasting. Whatever we have, we should use it properly. And as Indians, I think we actually use it very well, right? If we have an old piece of clothing, we'll give it to someone if they can use it, or we'll, find a way to make a pocha or something out of it, which is good. But after that, what happens? We don't. And we should try and make sure that we know where our clothes are going and what we'll do with it. So it's hard to say stop buying to someone, right? It's always nice to buy things. It feels good. But if we can make sure that whatever we are buying, we are responsible for, that is, what I think my big message is.
Thank you so much, Karan. All the best for the World Economic Forum.
Thank you.
I think this could be very useful for the society too.
Thank you.
So much. సో ఇది ఫ్యాషన్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో సస్టైనబిలిటీ కోసం వ్యక్తిగతంగా కూడా మనం ఏవైతే చేస్తున్నామో వాటిపైన ఎప్పుడూ కూడా ఒక బాధ్యతాయుతంగా ఉంటూ వ్యక్తులతో మార్పు రావాలి. అదే విధంగా ఫ్యాషన్ ఇండస్ట్రీకి సంబంధించి క్లాత్ ప్రిపరేషన్ లో కూడా తీసుకున్నటువంటి రా మెటీరియల్స్ ని మార్చినట్లయితే కనుక పొల్యూషన్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ ని కొంతవరకు ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని చెప్తున్నారు కరణ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.